beautiful people. This is me, the Affinity Midwife, and I'm coming to you with another message. Y'all, this message right here is super important. It's a dream that I had of last night. Actually, no, not even. I was in between the morning. I was in the early morning and I went back to sleep and I had this very prophesized dream. And I'm here to tell you about that dream because it's a dream that is people need to hear this, okay? So the dream is, I was at a dinner table with a lot of acquaintance, a lot of family members, and we're just talking about, the world situation, we were just talking about the pandemic, the things that have been going on, and at some point, I don't know, somebody just picked up a little girl or a woman, but she was light, just like a little girl. And then he showed me her back. And in her back there was a dark marking. There was a dark marking, like it was like a black patch on her back. And then he, like the person that was telling me this, oh look, she has this on her back. Actually, it was his spouse. He was talking about his spouse, and then he lifted her up. He turned her around like she was a baby, and then he showed me a marking on her back. And then he said, she's gonna die. And I was like, why? What do you say she's gonna die? And then he said, no, several people are dying right now because of these markings. And then at some point, like it shifted. We went into the waters. And I was in the deep waters. Like it was not even blue. It was just like dark. And we saw several bodies at the bottom of the ocean. There was just laying dead bodies there. They had drowned, or people were just dumping them because there were so many dead bodies. People didn't want to bury them. They didn't want to incinerate them. They was just dumped in water. And I saw all types of bodies at the bottom of the sea. And they all had this formation. They all had markings, those black markings, whether it was on their neck, behind their neck, or on their backs, or behind their legs. And I was like, what is going on? And then at some point, there was, in a dream, there was a government official saying that waters has been contaminated because of the amount of dead bodies being thrown in these waters. So water could not even be consumed anymore because of the contamination that these dead bodies brought into the water. So we had to consume water from elsewhere. We had to develop new technologies in order to actually get clean water. And then I was sitting at the table with these people, and we're just talking about the situation. And then these people said, you know what? We're going to have to create an organization, a non-profit organization, because we're going to have to redirect resources, whether it's natural resources, human resources, financial resources. And then I woke up, right? And I was like, what? What is that type of dream? What does it mean? Right? I was so flabbergasted by the type of dream that I had, because yes, I dream, but I usually dream on a very personal level about, past lovers, past pains, family members. But that was a very different dream, because it was talking about the collective. It was talking about the world. And I don't really dream about these things, but I feel like I had to share it with you guys. So one of my interpretation of these dreams, spirit guides and sisters, y'all, cover me on this one. One of my interpretation about these dreams is that people are gonna die. A lot of people are gonna die. We're coming into the times where there's gonna be some sort of, well, we're already in these times. Like the planet is just resetting. Everything is resetting. We are on a whole reset. And it's not to scare you, it's just to bring more awareness onto your own journey. And I was questioning myself about these markings, these black markings, whether they're behind your, like behind your back, on the back, or behind your feet. And I was like, why weren't people able to see these markings that were behind them, right? And then it got to me. The message got clear to me. These black markings, these black markings are reflective of their own shadows. I'll say it again. These black markings that appeared in the back space of their bodies was aspects of their shadows being brought to their own awareness. So whether it was on here, like right here, or like at the back of the neck, whether it was on the back, behind the shoulders, whether it was on your back, like lower back, whether it was on your bum, whether it was behind your thighs, behind your legs, it all had a specific message as to why the marking was there. And to me, it was because it's a shadow aspect that was revealed, and that's why the marking, the black marking, became so big and took up the space, because it was related to a shadow aspect of the individual that got that marking. And because that individual came into awareness of that black marking being there, they came into the awareness that they had a shadow that they had not dealt with. They died. They literally died because it was something they were not aware of. It was some shadow aspect of themselves they were not aware of, and it took them by surprise. So, like it took them by surprise that it shocked them to death, literally. Like it's no jokes. This is the interpretation that I got. So, my message to, and then also because they were dumped into the sea, right? That's another one. Because the shock of coming into awareness of these black markings, of these shadow aspects of themselves, came into their awareness, they got so shocked that they came into this emotional turmoil. And that's why when I saw, like in my dream, these dead bodies being dumped into the waters, and the further the body went, is because they were in deep emotional turmoil, like actually going through their death, and their dead body being dumped all the way down to the bottom of the sea was reflective of them coming into emotional knowing or emotional awareness of all the emotions that they were not in contact with in this dimension. So they had to die and then go all the way to the bottom of their whole emotional turmoil. So I feel like it's a process, okay? What I'm gonna say is, I feel like it's a process. Yes, we are here in this living 3D reality, but when we die, we don't know what really happens, or where do we go, or where our souls go. But in my dream, it was specific that those dead bodies was dumped at the bottom of the ocean. And the interpretation that I received was they had to die because the shock was so deep regarding those black markings, regarding those shadow aspects of themselves that appeared on their body. And because they were not prepared mentally, physically, emotionally, they had to die. And in that death, when they transitioned in that death, they were finally able to reconcile with the emotions that they had buried deep within themselves. It did not happen in this dimension. It happened only once they transitioned, is what I'm saying, is what I'm getting. So my message to you guys, because you're here, you're alive, you're still here, but in this realm, start doing shadow work. Okay? Start looking at aspects of yourselves that you don't want to admit to your own self. Start looking at aspects of yourself that you fear looking at, but there's no really fear behind it. It's just an aspect of yourself that you forgot, or that you don't really want to see because it doesn't really fit a social norm. Start looking at those things about yourselves, because we are coming into this era where, yes, we are stepping into more of the individual power. But when we're talking about individual power, we're also talking about individual responsibility, right? And every thought, every energetical, like every time we focus on our energies onto something, whether conscious or unconscious, it creates an imprint in this reality. And now we're coming in these times where all of these imprints are being revealed to our conscious self, to our conscious mind. If we have done the work to actually diving deeper into those difficult emotions that brings us back to certain aspects of ourselves that we don't really want to deal with, we're going to be confronted with them. If we're not ready, like if we've done the work, we're going to be confronted with them, and we're going to know how to deal with them on a very personal, intimate, cellular level, with our breath, with techniques, if you've been doing the work. But if you have not been doing the work, it's going to hit, and it's going to hit terribly. It's going to hit terribly, even to the point of leaving your body. This is what I'm saying. This is the type of dream that I had. So people that lived in society and that accepted all kinds of attachment to this illusion, to this 3D reality that is an illusion, and I held on so strongly onto it, are gonna come in contact with deep emotions, with deep aspects of themselves that they kept in their shadow. And if they're not prepared, if they're not physically, mentally prepared to deal with it, they're going to leave their body, and they're going to have to deal with it in the afterlife. So my message to you guys, start doing the work. It's no jokes. The whole earth, this universal journey we are on, because it's not just you, it's not just me, it's everybody as a whole. It's the planet Earth. It's a whole era, and it goes, there's layers to this. If you are not ready, like, everything is resetting, everything is coming to the surface, everything that was hidden, whether it's on an individual level, on a collective level, on a spiritual level, whatever have you, it's all coming up to the surface. And if you're not ready to deal with these things, it may take you by surprise to the point of leaving your body and transitioning to the other dimension. And there you will be able to deal with them. This is the message that I got from my dream. And so I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, your mind, your heart, and your whole being, because this is no jokes. Some people are going to come into realization that there were things, there were secrets, family ways of doing, of living, that are going to be detrimental, that are going to be so destructive. But if you've been attached too much to your family beliefs, to your family's traditions of doing things, of seeing things, if you've been attached too much and you have not detached to come into your own personal power, individual power, and own truth and beliefs about yourself and what you are worthy of, if you have not done the work, it will shock you. It will shock you. Some secrets are going to be revealed. Some shadow aspects of of the collective, if you've held on to attachments pertaining to the government, to politics, to how companies been running this world for a whole, if you've been having deep attachments onto those, when secrets come up, it's going to shock a lot of individuals. And if you have not been prepared to come into yourself, to sit with yourself, to acknowledge that you are worthy of that individual power, it's gonna bring you to your own demise. I'm not fucking playing here. I'm not saying this to spook you or to scare you. I'm here to help you get down, to help you get you down to your own business. Like, this is serious. So on that note, you guys, if you need to book a 15 to 30 minute consultation with me, go on my linktree. I left a button on my YouTube. Even on below this message, you will find my linktree link. Click on it. 15 to 30 minute consultation, conversation. We're gonna talk. If there are shadow aspects of yourselves, if there are emotions that you're unfamiliar with, or you're having if you're having difficulty embodying them or just processing them, book a free consultation with me, and then we'll figure out which of the elements is more appropriate to work with, so that you can start unraveling certain illusions, certain attachments that are not in alignment with your individual power. And when we do that, you're gonna have the tools. You're gonna have the tools to better be prepared for what's coming. Okay? On that note, you guys, take care of yourselves. Much love. Gucci God energy in your energy. Gucci God. Gucci God means that you have that power. You have that Gucci God power. You just need to align with it. And aligning with it can be easy if you just have the right tools. If you start detaching from these realities, illusions. On that note, peace.